Hello guys and welcome back to another Conquer the Worlds video where today I will be giving basically a tutorial at what to do and what not to do for beginners and how to progress easily in Conquer the Worlds. First of all, we have to cover what there are, what the importance points are for this game. There's economy management, or more general resource management. There's troop management. There's upgrading your troops, and then there is picking your fights and creating front lines. So let's quickly, I'm already dead, but let's quickly get into a new game. I'm going to be using the modern one for basic demonstrations, but this applies to, oh wait, not the modern one. Forgive me. I'm going to be using the World War II one. So it's easier to see what to do, what not to do. Hold up, I'll find the one and I'll come back to you guys. Okay, so we're in a game and you start off with, for example, Italy. We are Italy. And so first point, economy, or more in general, resource management. You have money, you have factories, and then you have manpower, and as well as political power for me. So whenever you get into a game, the first thing you should do is go to the production wheel, where this is where you apply your factories to produce either equipment or money. If you can see, if I zero this out, I'll be assigning 33 of my factories, all of them, to making more money. So I'll be getting more money. I'm not in a war right now. I don't need any equipment. Okay, and you can increase your factory count by buying factories. As you can see, it increases. It's, you use your money to make more money, but this can get in the way of your troop management, but we'll come to that later. The other way is by conquering new lands. For example, if you're in Italy, you can take Switzerland, you can try Austria, or you can easily take Yugoslavia, and this will basically give you, like, for example, if I take Yugoslavia, instead of buying, I can upgrade my troops and I can take it, and then bam, I almost doubled my factory. I'm making way more money, and I'm more defendable now. I'm not as naked as before. The second resource is manpower. They changed this mechanic a bit later. Now you have to buy it with money and manpower. It used to be kind of hidden. You had to watch it to see what it was consuming, but 10,000 manpower is one troop, and that you buy it. Let's say I want 10 troops. I spend it 10,000 manpower. I use some money, and now it's at this limit. If my troop dies, I don't have to rebuy it. It will just consume 10,000 manpower and automatically redo them. You can also buy 10,000 manpower or troop for a hefty amount of money, 23k. That's a lot. That's a lot of money. Okay, so you say, hey, I want 12. Let's do 15. That's manpower explained. Then you have your political power. This is where you use your government focuses to buy boosts and whatnot. You see, the first one, you will be always the one in the middle. You can switch between government focuses. I say fascism is the most powerful one because you can get better factories. You can increase your troops' damage by a lot, especially against communism and democracy. And tanks are incredible in fascism for some reason. I don't know why. So that's why you're basically going to be using this to upgrade your troops' effects and to wage war or send alliance requests. So it's now do I want to increase my give perks to my troops, give perks to my country, or do I want to wage war or I send alliance requests? For example, me being allied with Germany right now is really good, or with France, because now I don't have to worry about a more powerful enemy. That's all the resource management. Now comes troop management. As we talked before, you have you can buy troops, but there is also tanks, and buy that just to demonstrate, and navy. I'll buy a plane as well just to see. Let's see. Here is your ships. They are going to be on the seaside cities. You're going to see this little icon showing that, oh, you have 0 ships there. Or you can go down to the navy logo and it will show every single port you have and how many ships are in the port. There's transport ships, there's destroyers, there's submarines, and there's battleships. They're all each good against... They're all for something. Transport ships are in the name. You use them to make landings. For example, hold up, I'll use the napalm. I'll load it into the... Like, the troop is now loaded into the transport ship. I exit the fleet, and I say, oh, for example, if I'm in a war with Yugoslavia, I'm going to use this as an example. Here you go. I want to make landfall here. And it will take some time, and bam, my troop is there. But beware, when any kind of ship is in the water, it will be using roughly 200 or more for destroyers and whatnot. So don't put your entire navy fleet in the ocean if you're not going to use it. Okay, look, see, we are making more money. We can buy all of these now. I want to go with infantry speed and infantry attack. That's, you know, that's the basics. And okay, tank chassis is done, and I think the other one's done. Tanks, they're kind of similar to infantry. You buy, and then it's going to use 10,000 manpower, and it's going to spawn however amount you bought. It's going to be like a troop. You're going to drag it along the map, and it's going to work like that. Planes are kind of weird. So you see how there's no troops seen. There is a production section where it says close air support, used for attacking ground troops. Bombers are for taking out factories and defenses, as those are these things. For example, 6 factories, 3 defenses. And fighters are good against your opponent's jets. You basically increase this amount, and it's using 6 factories and making 0.4 planes a day. That means roughly in 3 days you'll get 1 plane. But you see how many planes you have? You see, just like the Navy, you have airfields across your map, and you can use this Air Force field to see, now I have 2 planes here. You want to use it, you deploy it, and for example, put it up above. Like, there are sections of the map, and for example, if I choose this here, they will basically be circling overhead this entire section and attacking troops on that section. That's how they work. That's how bombers, how fighters work. This is good to stockpile before you attack somewhere. It's not good during a war, during a fight, because then it uses your factories, which could be going towards equipment. Let's include this, and let's start a war. So we can go over to the last point, which is managing your troops on the front line and fighting other people. So the first thing you should do when you get in the game, I didn't do it because I want to demonstrate, is drag down everything to 0 so you're making the most money, and then start buying your infantry up. Roughly, you want to get the first one before you fight any country, because if they're a bot, they're probably going to be on level 0 and you're going to have a pretty big advantage over them. So for example, we're buying level 1. I'm going to wait until this equipment upgrade is done to wage war, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to get my troops in an advantageous position. For example, creating a front line where you see it's going to be basically 1 versus 2 in this tile. You want to have the tile advantage when you're fighting. Sure, man. Yeah. For example, if I want to attack Yugoslavia from just this tile, I would have a hard time because it's a 1. Like, if they had this, it would be a 1 versus 2. You understand what I'm saying? You always want to have the advantageous position. By the way, I bought a tank. Where is it though? I'm pretty sure. Oh, you see, we don't have enough manpower, so it's not creating it. It's trying to create the troops that we set to 15 first, and then it's going to create the tank. Okay, the first upgrade is done. So before getting to war, you want to increase your infantry equipment a good amount, so it's making 10 a day. Like, you always want to stay around here if it's not too big. And let's start with the war. You've seen this exact same thing countless times. You see, oh, that's probably not gonna work. Yeah, that landfall is not going to be good. That guy's probably going to die. But now we want to get rid of the troop once it's on red. That means it's on the level of death, and if you attack it, it won't be able to protect itself. Yes, that's great. And there's another thing where there will be a tiny wheel. That means their factories aren't producing enough equipment and they cannot replenish their health or move fast. Oh, we're on level 3, I guess. That's great. Let's get the tank speed, tank upgrade. I'm pretty sure we can. Oh. I'm trying to create a line so nobody is alone. This is most likely going to go here. Oh, it didn't. You see how now it's a 1 versus 2 and it can't really go anywhere? Oh, it can go there. Oh, I'm wrong then. Prove me right. And once it's gone, it's red and we kill it. Let's continue moving on and continue upgrading. Wow, we're making a lot of money. Oh, right. We bought this, which gave us 50k manpower, and now we have our tank, which we can use. You basically want to clean it up and then rush to the capital, which is going to be the big starry thing with the same color as the rest of the country. Once you capture... Oh, actually, that's not how it works. Lucy? Yeah, that's what I'm talking. It cannot replenish itself because it doesn't have enough factories. Yep. 2 versus 1. And that's most of the basics covered. You can use this diplomacy this is a new thing. You can see who has enemies, who's alive with whatnot, and you can see the rough amount of money, manpower, ships and whatnot they have. It doesn't tell you the exact amount, but just a rough amount. Let's use this so they can heal up. You need some kind of equipment to heal them up and move them fast around the map. Otherwise, it won't work. Holy crap, okay. Now we are allied with Germany, right? And I'm thinking I don't want France to win this. So I'm going to wage war on Switzerland so I have a more advantageous position. And I'm not just stuck on this front. I create a new front where they will have to split up their troops more. In the meantime, always stay on top of your government and research nodules. Let's drop this to 0. Oh, in the meantime, we can also produce some planes. You know, we can use them. We didn't really see the effects of what the planes do because it was a really small war. But if you have enough bombers and whatnot, you will, believe me, you will go through their defenses, like cut through their defenses like butter. Oh, that was easy. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I hope that explains some of the questions you guys had, you know, some of the unknowns about the game. If you have any more questions, free to comment. I can make a video on it, or I can just explain it on the spot. You know, take care. See you all in the next video. Bye.